Welcome back to the MMA review.
Yes, we're doing UFC 259, Izzy and Jan.
And it is fresh in our heads. We've just come from watching that fight.
Straight to the studio, yeah.
It was a long fight card to be sitting in an Australian summer lounge room.
Yeah, it dragged on a bit.
Yeah. On a red leather couch, I was getting pretty sticky. That was, it was a good fight card.
Yeah, it was.
And there's a lot to talk about. All the divisions are sort of like, have a lot of...
It just got weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fuckery. Should we start bottom of the main card? Are there any undercard fights that you wanted to talk about?
There is some ones that we should speak about.
Yeah.
So I can't remember the gentleman's name though, but the training partner of Israel Adesanya, who he's kind of told everyone to watch.
Oh yeah. Let me find it. All right, was it Carlos Ulberg?
That's the one.
Yes.
Carlos Ulberg and what's the name of his opponent?
Kennedy Zetchuku?
Yeah. I think
Do you want to try?
I believe it's at Chuku. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That fight, that's got to be fight of the night, or it's got to be performance of the night for Zetchuku. So that fight was he was getting smashed, but he was giving back just hard shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really missed out by not being there.
I'm bummed, man. Yeah. Real bummed. How did it, was it third round knockout?
I believe it was second round knockout.
Okay.
And the whole fight was just fireworks from the start. Ulberg's just throwing as hard as he can. Yeah. And he's got Sujuku just shelled up, and it's like when you're at a boxing class and the gym and the teacher just goes, hit the bag as hard as you can for 30 seconds. He's just ripping the most killer body shots. You have no idea how he didn't just go down and die from them.
Was his approach similar to Izzy's? Or total different style of kickboxing?
No. He just
aggressive. Okay.
He was trying to kill the guy. He's I'd say that he probably gets to really bully some people in the gym.
Yeah.
And he was expecting to just be able to kind of, when he puts that pain on someone, just send him out of there.
Yeah.
But this guy was tough, man. He was taking some shots that people just shouldn't be able to take.
Yeah.
And he was sending him back, and eventually Ulberg got tired.
Yeah.
And then he ate one that really kind of put him on his ass, and then he was just kind of shelled against the corner of the cage and just copped some hooks, and oh man. It was very good win for Zetchuku. So.
That's cool, man. Was that both fighters' debut?
No. Zetchuku's taking a bit of time off. He was won a fight, and I'm not sure, possibly an injury, taking a bit of time, but probably was meant to lose.
Yeah.
UFC trying to build up
his teammates. Yeah.
And he ends up causing the upset that was pretty, But on the good side for City Kickboxing, Kaikara France, he re-earned his name, Don't Blink. Oh,
good, man. I'm glad.
Yeah, because, guys, he's got some good knockouts, but...
Good fighter, but just...
Where have they been?
Shitty little run recently.
Yeah, they've
hasn't
all
gone
been
so well.
kind of decisions or losses on his part, and then, this guy... He's ended up taking Kai's back for the entire first round. Yeah. Getting very close to some rear nakeds. It's almost ununderstandable how he didn't finish it. Yeah. And then he gets back to the feet in the last 45 seconds and just hits some bombs. And his opponent, face first into the mat as if he's, just got DDT'd. It was out hard. And actually, there was a little bit of, fuckery that sort of happened because... Herb Dean comes in. He doesn't wave it off. He's just kind of in between.
He got in the space, yeah.
He got in the space, but he didn't kind of call it off. And then Kai France is run off, done a lap celebrating. And then he's I think his corner sort of been he hasn't waved it off. Yeah. And then he runs in about to hit old mate as he's coming back off at knockout. Then Herb's no, we're done. And yeah, old mate was kind of acting as salty as you would if it was a bad stoppage.
Yeah.
About it, but... It definitely wasn't a bad stoppage. He was proper out. You don't go face first into the mat.
I mean, that's kind of on Kai.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard when they step in, but it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was perfect time for a stoppage. I think Herb Dean just needed to be a bit clearer with his instruction.
Yeah.
But no. So
was he following up?
He was about to follow up. So
okay. Yeah.
He hit him with about 3 good shots that really just put him out.
Yep.
And he could have hit him with more, but then Herb was sort of in the space. It was
Oh, that's
Pretty well
confusing then. Yeah, that's tough.
It was like he was trying to do like a bit of a Mark Hunt walk off. He even like gave a shout out to Mark Hunt in the post fight interview. But
Yeah, okay.
yeah, he kind of ran rather than a walk off.
Yeah, run off.
Yeah. But those were the two notable fights in the prelims. Out of memory.
Dom Cruz gets his comeback win.
He did.
Looked good too.
Yeah, it looked like a hard fight too.
Yeah.
All the credit to Casey Kennedy.
Yeah, he was looking good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, landed some big shots on Dom, but just took it like a champ.
Yeah, he didn't seem worried about the aura that is Dominic Cruz. You know, that thing that used to really kind of, you'd see him fight Uriah Faber and you'd just be like, how can you beat Dominic Cruz?
Yeah.
Even though Uriah Faber had a win over him, he just didn't really look like there was a good blueprint to beat him.
The three other fights were tough.
Because Uriah Faber's just pretty flat in the feet. And Dominic
like just
Cruz
a
is
tough
the opposite
kind of wrestler.
a power puncher who's got good submissions and good wrestling.
Yeah,
but like it's a bit of an old school game plan.
Yeah.
So it's really good to see Dominic Cruz, come back looking good like he did, and I want to see him fight more often. Like, fuck's sake, mate, don't hurt yourself again.
Please, yeah. It'd be cool to see him get up there and I know he's constantly injured and probably like still a bit banged up from it all, but it'd be really cool to see him make like another run.
Right.
Like, because the bantamweight division's pretty open right now.
The bantam.
Well, let's get to that. Let's slow down. Yeah.
But like, how much would a UFC fan love to see Dominic Cruz have one of those years like what Cowboy had back in 2014?
Oh, it'd be so cool, man.
Yeah, where he's just fighting all the time, winning all the time, just actually getting to showcase that Dominic Cruz skill set that like everyone loves to see.
We could probably get another match against TJ as well because that first fight was a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. That fight is like definitely up in the air. I think Cruz is ranked in like under top 10 at the moment.
He was 11, I think.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, but yeah.
That's, wow. Dominic Cruz outside the top 10, like the UFC let him hold that championship spot for way too long. Because they just didn't want to unrank him because they're just pretty much convinced he's the best in the world.
Yeah.
Would have been really good to have seen that fight between him and Renan Barão at the prime.
Oh, man, it would have been awesome.
One of them fights that we've been robbed of as UFC fans, but, it'll definitely never happen now. I think Renan's been cut years ago
Renan's,
Yeah. He
nowhere, I guess.
Lost his soul from TJ, really.
Yeah, it was pretty much downhill from there.
Yeah, you never come back from a beating like that when all your wins were, like, very based on your confidence.
Yeah.
You'd lose your confidence so badly.
Well, it was 2 back-to-back losses to TJ. It was like a 5th round knockout and then a 1st round knockout. I think.
I'm not sure, but the second knockout was just insane.
Yeah.
There was no need to put him in again. Like, it was very, confirmed that TJ's better after the first fight, but...
It wasn't like one of those fights where the champion loses, like the Silva fight with Weidman.
Yeah.
It wasn't like where, it was clearly Weidman won, but the circumstances weren't like...
Yeah, where you're not in your head thinking he could probably win the rematch. No one was thinking Renan was going to win a rematch.
No, that was just a showcase by TJ.
Yeah, I think that second one really was just a nail in the coffin for Renan's career, man.
Yeah, a great career, mind you.
A great career.
Fierce career, yeah.
What did he end up? Did he end up 30 in a row?
He must have been close, man.
Yeah, I remember when he was about to fight Uriah Faber, they made that song, Renan Barão 29 in a row.
Yeah.
To the tune of the Beach Boys. But he won a few more after he beat Uriah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
yeah.
And then, Dom Cruz. And then, we launch right into the main card.
Yes, we had Rakic and Santos.
Yeah.
First up.
Yeah, this fight didn't really deliver, did it?
No, the same thing you get, man, when you have 2 really powerful strikers who are both sort of aware of the other person's power. Yeah, a lot of fighting at range, no real big moves, but
yeah. Kind of, really embarrassed me the amount of praises I was singing to Rakic last week, and then, he won, but he just didn't look good. No one's calling to see him fight for the title after that.
No.
It's he could fight and he could maybe beat Jan, but no one wants to see it. And if people don't want to see it, they're not going to do it because the UFC love to make the title fights to sell the money. So
Yeah, exactly.
otherwise, they wouldn't have done what they just did today.
Yeah, it had so much potential to be a great fight. And then, like, you know, two massive knockout artists, both terrifying guys. And then, yeah, it happens, I guess.
It does happen, you know. And, man, Santos, like, I want to see him get back on there. There's 3 losses in a row now.
I'm surprised we didn't see him, like, put the gas on and just go for it. Like, it seemed like something he would do, but just couldn't find the spot, I guess.
Is it like a John Jones curse? You know, like, there's some people, not everyone who John Jones has beat, but there's some people that they just have a really bad string of, like, career after they lose to John Jones. You know?
Yeah,
like,
you're actually right.
The Cheetah's one, you know. Dominic Reyes, you know, he's lost his next one after it. Santos has lost every fight since the John Jones one, you know.
It's tough, man. It must be, and I'm not saying Reyes and Santos were completely outclassed by John, but it must just be so devastating to think that you're really, really good and then come across a guy like John and you just go, oh, I don't know shit.
Yeah. Oh, it's got to be the worst, you know.
Yeah.
It's like those nights where some new guy comes to the gym and you roll him and you get folded in half. You're like, yeah. I thought I was pretty good, but this is fucked.
And he's like hanging onto a bulldog choke like, is this working? You're like, no, but kind of.
Yeah. All right, stop being naturally good and just athletically amazing. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and Santos look way smaller. Like, Rakic is huge.
He's a big boy, real tall, real thick.
Like, I thought, yeah, you know, this is just how big light heavyweights are. When I saw him standing against the cage and he's towering over it, I'm like, John Jones always does that. John Jones, like, armpits hang over the cage.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you see, like, Santos up against him. You're like, oh, shit. Like, Santos is big, but fuck, he doesn't look very big at all.
Big, man. Not that big.
I suppose, you know, Santos did fight at middleweight.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he's a lot thicker than Rakic, but I mean, Rakic isn't like lanky like John Jones is.
No, he's not. But, you know, he didn't do anything like super impressive that would make me think that he would be a good fight for John.
Not like his previous fights.
Yeah. No, he's looked more impressive in the past.
I don't see, especially the result of the main event, I don't see John coming back to light heavyweight.
No, not really. And, you know, I'm kind of all for it. I want to see the heavyweight chapter now.
100%. He's done his work at light heavyweight, so, yeah.
He's beat anyone who ever did come.
And that's, like, sticking to the theme of the main event of this card, that's the time to move up. When you've, like, absolutely torn through an entire division and left. I mean, the couple questions we have, like, steroids and the fight against Reyes and maybe, I'm not even going to say Santos, but the fight against Reyes for sure.
Had some fights that like had some closer decisions, you know.
But no one, never dominated. Never even close.
The only thing he could do is go after, like, I think the only other light heavyweight champion he hasn't beaten, Tito Ortiz, but, like, no one wants to see that.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. You know, like, he's beat Rashad, he's beat Lyoto, he's beat Rampage, he's beat Vitor. He hasn't beat, I don't even know where I was going. He's beat Shogun.
Yeah.
He's beaten everyone who's been a light heavyweight champion besides Tito, but Tito was the original one. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's time to move up.
It's not like Tito would have had a chance, but yeah.
And we're not missing out by seeing John Jones move to heavyweight. You know, we don't... Sure, Jan Blachowicz, you know, deserves to fight against the great ones, but it'll be doing us all more of a service to see maybe Jan be like the new carrier of that weight class, or
for sure
see some competition in the title picture.
Yeah, 100%.
Just John Jones just destroying every contender.
I'm much more interested in seeing how John does against like Francis and Stipe, and those are much more interesting fights for me.
That makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. You know, that's the sort of stuff where, oh my gosh, John Jones fighting a giant like Francis Ngannou. Yeah. Oh, that sounds amazing.
Keen to see how he does when he's like a big dude as well. Like he's probably going to come in like 245 maybe.
He'd have to. Like, I don't think he's going to take a fight until he's walking around that sort of size.
100%. Like, I doubt he'll get to the limit, but he'll be up there.
Yeah, he'll be up there. He's not going to be a 260 pounder. He's not going to be cutting weight to make 265.
Oh, you wouldn't want to, man. No. That's like the one good thing about being a heavyweight. You don't have to cut weight.
Yeah, and I think we're starting to see that new age, as we were sort of talking last time, of these sort of lighter heavyweight fighters who are just going to be bringing a lot more skill.
Yeah.
instead of just like raw power into the heavyweight division, and it's going to make things really good to watch.
Yeah, for sure, man.
It's a great time to be a fight fan.
It is. Yeah, a lot of good stuff to come.
Lots of fights on.
Yeah. After the Rakic fight, we had Islam
versus Drew Dober.
Yeah.
And we could not convince the people we were with to bet on Islam Makhachev. I don't know how.
That was crooked, man. I mean, Drew's a fit-looking guy, and he fights well, but something about Dagestani Russians, man.
Yeah, Islam's fitting them shoes nicely at the moment.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Yeah. He dominated the entire fight. He wasn't as exciting on the ground as Khabib was. Like, he wasn't putting, like, the real kind of leather into those punches like Khabib would for, like, a lot of the time. But, Khabib had a fight or two that was a bit of a snoozer.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
On his way up.
But, I mean, also, how much time did Khabib spend off the cage where it was exciting?
Yeah, no, really. You want to see Khabib just smashing someone against the cage, crushing them, like squishing their own diaphragm against them, just they try and stand up, and that makes it better for him. It's like he's riding a wave of their energy.
Yeah. Drew definitely didn't look panicked like Khabib's opponents, but that choke at the end where, you get a head and arm choke where the arm isn't across the throat and you're in half guard.
Yeah.
This squeeze must be huge, man. Or Drew was panicking, but I don't think so, man.
Islam's head was deep in there. Like, you could see, Drew's shoulder was like choking him hard, and it was the best thing that could have happened. I didn't want to sit for another 5 minutes of that fight. I was a little tired already. So that was good. But, it was good that Drew was using the lockdown to stop Islam move forward.
Yeah.
I want to see more of the lockdown game plan kind of used in the UFC. Like, I do believe it's a really helpful position. It can really save you from getting subbed. And if you're really good at it, it's a great place for sweeps.
Yeah.
And sweeps are actually the most underutilized like part of grappling in MMA.
For sure.
Sweep is like if you're really good at sweeps, you'd see more people pull guard.
100%.
Getting the top position in an MMA fight is amazing, but getting the takedown to get there can be a lot of work. Mm-hmm. But if you got a really good sweep, then a lot of the time it's a lot easier than just trying to wrestle the fuck out of someone.
Yeah, for sure. And also, half guard's got to be the most common position on the ground in MMA as well.
Yeah,
where that lockdown's available.
Yeah. So. You'll be able to get that lockdown often if you get it, but you got to get your hips under the guy. You can't have both your hips on the ground in lockdown.
Yeah.
If you are posting on your arm, that's better. If you're on your elbow, that's okay. But if you're up high, and then it's a 50-50 position on the ground, and anywhere where they try and squish you over, they're overcommitting weight, and you can either sweep them, to the lockdown side or to the far side.
Yep.
It's a good position, but Drew Dober was only really using it to slow Islam down. Yeah. He wasn't using it to win.
Well, I can't talk to what it's like to have Islam on top of you either. I'm sure it's a tall order to try and use a proper lockdown on him.
It would actually be almost a bit amazing to feel, I reckon, having someone that strong, just trying to actually, see that, feel it in real life. It would be insane.
Yeah.
We've had international wrestling champions come to the gym, and you get to wrestle with them, or you get to roll with them, and even if they don't know jiu-jitsu, it doesn't matter. You can't control their base at all.
There's no chance.
Yeah, they're so good at it, so someone like Islam would just be insane.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, that was an excellent submission on his part. That was really good to see.
Yeah.
I love a good head and arm choke. And when you don't even have to cut to the right side, when you don't even have to get the mount.
Yeah. It was all squeeze. It was no actual body weight on the throat. Yeah, it was just that squeeze. So he's strong, man.
Yeah.
Stupid strong.
He should just do some arm wrestling competitions. I want to see it.
Oh, he'd probably do well, man.
Yeah.
After that was the shame of the bantamweight division.
Yeah. Just one of the worst tastes in your mouth that you could ever get left from a title fight.
Yeah, such a great performance by Jan.
Yeah,
dealt with the early pressure by Sterling, started putting some pace on, and then fucked it up. And such a blatant foul. Yeah,
let's give it up for Sterling there. he got hard done by. He got wronged.
100%.
He did nothing wrong, and he got kneed right in the face when he was a downed opponent.
Yeah.
But, you know, God, did he play into it?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, maybe he did have like the worst concussion in the world and he had no idea where he was. But I didn't really.
Like, he wasn't unconscious, and that's not saying it didn't do damage to him. But he was talking clear and concisely afterwards in his interview, you know?
Yeah.
And that's a pretty good sign that, like teammates carrying him off. It's just.
We all would have understood if he's just like, no, I got fouled and like, this is a bit of damage. I'm probably not going to be able to like come back and win now.
Yeah.
And just like be like, no, I'm taking the DQ. Instead of being like, oh, I really want to fight, but I just can't, you know.
100%. Yeah.
Just kind of level with us, man. Like, you didn't have to do that. And
no, it was a bullshit thing that like Jan did, and they're saying that like his corner instructed him that it was legal. I don't know about that, man. They said they're going to put the audio out, but
we've seen this sort of stuff. Like, do you remember Dustin Poirier versus Eddie Alvarez?
I do. Oh, that pissed me off, man.
Yeah, man. Who's Eddie's coach? Eddie's coach is a really good coach.
He is, man. But
he just had a lapse in judgment. He told him to throw a 12-6 elbow. Like, you could see it clear as day. He said, like, elbow him.
Yeah.
And then he elbows him, like, not on the head, on the shoulder. And I guess, you know, Eddie just in the moment is like, oh, I'm pretty sure 12-6 elbow is not okay, but maybe it's okay if it's not the head. And just, you know, you just see these sort of things. It's not up to the fighter to like try and like differentiate, like, is this a good or bad idea what my coach is saying?
Yeah.
You know, if you are that in tune with your coach, just listen to what they say to do.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, it was a pretty good fight. You know, Aljo came out like with some really like cool striking at the start. Definitely was not going to take him down at any point.
No, I think he would have been better off just staying striking and trying to stay along with it. And like point fight, because he was doing a great job of it. And then he gassed himself out trying to wrestle in the second, I think, and then it was just hard downhill.
Yeah. Yeah, Poitier landing some really good like punches. But
yeah, man.
Whatever happened to trying to beat a boxer with kickboxing, you know? Just
100%.
Hurt his legs, hurt his body, you know, hit him in ways where he's doesn't have every counter combo down pat that he's done 100 times.
Yeah.
You know? Some boxing coaches say there's 4 punches, learn to do them perfectly, you know, and like he's had a lifetime of that. So just don't try and like strike him with hands only. Just try and mix it up with kicks.
He's a taller guy as well. Just stay long.
Yeah.
He had like side kicks to the knees. Take your time.
But, you know, now he's probably going to be booked for a rematch that good luck.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he's going to get a medical suspension either. Like, this could hold shit up a lot for bantamweights, you know?
Man.
Like, a lot. Especially with, TJ coming back. You had, Dom Corey's not quite in the picture, but Corey Sandhagen coming off a massive win.
Yep.
It's just all halted.
I guess, what do you do? You know, if Aljo does get some medical suspension, maybe do some interim title fight between TJ and Corey, but I don't know if you really need to care about what's fair for Poitier at this point. He did do a blatant foul.
That was shitty, yeah, 100%.
You know, maybe Poitier can win a fight and then come back, but, you know, it would be weird if Aljamain Sterling's defending the belt against other people when he won the belt like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, can they just not have a champion? Because like what should happen really is like a tournament where you've got Corey, TJ, Sterling, and Jan, and like not on the same night or anything, but like I don't know, both fight on one night, and then the 2 winners go ahead.
It's one of those good ideas that the UFC didn't think of first, so they won't do.
Yeah.
The fact that Bellator do tournaments that are good. You know, the UFC like, no, we're not going to do that, and our gloves aren't outdated. They're outdated.
It's just such a messy situation.
Some of those hits that Poitier was landing.
Fuck, he can throw, man.
Oh, man. It'd be like really fun to hold gloves for.
And he can wrestle too, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, some of those takedowns, those trips.
Yeah.
Real nice, man.
Before the fight, you know, we're talking amongst a group of friends that we're with, you know, there's boxing Russians and there's wrestling Russians. I don't know. Maybe they just all know wrestling.
I think they can all wrestle, man.
Yeah. I don't think they can all box, but
They definitely can't all box, but they can all throw people.
Yeah. They probably just teach wrestling and childcare over there in Russia, you know?
Have to, man. It's the only way. You've got kids wrestling bears and shit. It's
Yeah. In Soviet Union, children throw you.
and then the women's featherweight division.
What do you do with the women's featherweight division now too? All these divisions are just blown wide open now.
Well, I don't think the women's featherweight division was ever really a thing.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't.
You know, that was the UFC kind of like trying to throw Cyborg an olive branch, you know? We'll do this featherweight division so we can have you and you don't have to cut weight that you can't make.
And then she went to Bellator.
Yeah, then she became like full anti-company and just kind of shot herself in the foot. So, all right, you know what, let's throw the lioness at you so we can like legitimately make someone else the face of this division.
Yeah.
Then Amanda Nunes.
Looked good, man.
Looked amazing.
Yeah.
But, you know, I've been asked by one of our big fans of the show, Shaggy Rogers, shout out right here, to bring up that, you know, both Valentina fights were very close. And we should probably not give Amanda the 100% GOAT until maybe she beats Valentina more decisively.
I think so. Yeah, no, that's fair. 100% fair, Shaggy.
Yeah, I want to see Valentina Nunes 3. Even though Nunes is 2-0 in these fights, they're like split decisions. I honestly thought that Valentina won the first one.
It could have gone that way, for sure.
The second one, you know, I think Amanda did a touch better, but still it was so close.
Yeah.
And it's not like Valentina's like not that good.
She's a monster, man.
She's definitely the best in the division she's the champion in.
Yeah.
I think that bantamweight, you know, do that bantamweight title fight. Do it again.
I don't know who else deserves to be in there with Nunes.
Let's think about it. Is anyone in bantamweight really kind of looking good at the moment?
Bantamweight rankings.
Women's bantamweight rankings. Because I don't think there is any more featherweight women to fight Nunes.
No, it felt like it was just really Megan Anderson and Nunes and Cyborg, and then there were a couple of people moving up from bantam here and there, but it was...
Yeah, there's 3 bona fide women's featherweights. Megan, not even really Amanda. Amanda's just a big...
She's not big.
No.
No, Megan towered over her, man. And that made that so much more impressive as well.
Yeah, it did. Those leg kicks that Amanda threw, they look like they really hurt.
Yeah. Okay, Shevchenko is not on the bantamweight rankings.
Okay, fair enough.
You've got Jermaine,
There in a while. Oh, yeah?
Holly Holm, Aspen Ladd.
I don't want to see Amanda fight any of them again. Oh, she hasn't fought Ladd, but...
There's Yana Kunitskaya, but I think Nunes has beaten her before as well.
Look, let's get a really impressive win from Valentina in the next fight.
Yeah.
And then let's do that one more time because... You know, there's no fights that people are going to tune in to see Amanda do at this point.
I think they've just booked Valentina Andrade.
Yeah, that's a really good opportunity, actually. You know, you're fighting another hard-hitting Brazilian.
Yep.
One with great wrestling. If you can really impressively beat her, then people are going to be like, oh, you know, maybe she could beat Nunes. Yeah.
100%. Well, I mean, we know she can.
Yeah,
we know it's possible.
It's definitely possible. It's just like Valentina's kind of thought that the tactical approach would have been better in these fights, and maybe it is. Maybe that is the way to beat Amanda.
Yeah.
But, you know, the last time we've seen Amanda lose, it was... she
got choked, did she?
No, she got TKO'd, and she blew her wad. She fought Kat Zingano.
Oh, yep.
And she hit Kat fucking hard. She hit her like... I think it's the hardest Kat said she's ever been hit.
Damn.
But then Kat just refused to go down. She did some very unorthodox takedowns and just kept mounting Amanda, and Amanda's just... kind of used everything she's had trying to put her out already. And then she's copping hard ground and pound and under mount, and she just got finished. And it was so impressive.
Yeah.
But, you know, then Kat Zingano's just kind of had that inconsistent career after that. And now she's winning fights in Bellator, which is great to see.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if you're going to put Amanda somewhere, I think we really need Valentina to be like the dark horse in this like race and just come through and really kind of show us something that we want to see.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, man, I really hope they don't close women's featherweight.
I know. What do you think is next for Megan? Because if the featherweight division, if nothing happens, she's not going to make bantamweight.
Yeah, does the UFC just buy out the Invicta featherweight division completely? But
I mean, they could.
But yeah, how many girls there has Megan not already beat?
Exactly, man.
She kind of cleared out that division pretty quickly before she came over to the UFC.
100%. I think she'd be pretty well off going over to PFL.
Yeah.
They've got a good women's division. They pay a lot of money if you win.
Yeah. Say Megan versus Kayla or something like that.
I think Kayla's in
Bellator now.
Bellator, yeah. That'd be a good fight, though.
That'd be a good fight as well. Bellator still pay well.
They do, 100%.
And this is not saying that Megan's not worthy of fighting in the UFC. She's got finishes in the UFC.
Certainly not. It's just that there's no people there for her to fight.
Yeah, there's a lack of competitors to fight Megan.
You can keep bringing girls up from bantamweight for Megan to smash, and then she gets a rematch of Nunes, and I think it looks similar.
Yeah, she didn't really put in enough of a fight that you really want to see that rematch at this point.
Yeah,
it pains me to say. I thought she did good of not letting Amanda just come out and bum rush her and just beat the shit out of her straight away.
Yeah.
But then as soon as Amanda started getting into it, that she had that look in her eyes. Yeah. And Amanda gets, she looks like she gets possessed by some devil that just loves hurting people at some point. She gets that smile on her face, and her eyes just light up, and you never see someone having more fun in a fight.
No, man. She's winding up for a right hand. You just see her start to grin as it comes out.
The harder she hits a girl, the happier she is about it.
Oh, yeah.
And, I don't think she'll ever... There's no one really left for Amanda to prove herself against, but I don't think that stops her from just fighting consistently.
Just keep doing it. Keep making that money.
Yeah, I think she just enjoys it.
This is how you get, especially in two divisions, 20 plus title defenses.
Yeah.
And I know the divisions aren't as deep as the men's, but just smash all men's records.
Yeah, well,
Why
honestly,
not?
She's the only person who became champ that defended both belts.
And doing a great job of it too. Consistent fighting. Yeah.
I really wasn't a fan of hers at the start. Seeing her flog Misha Tate as an ending for UFC 200. That was a bad ending to a bad card.
Yeah, yeah.
But then when she comes through and she knocks out Cyborg, it made a fan out of me. I was actually so happy for her, even though I was salty about seeing her beat my girls.
But it was cool seeing Cyborg beatable.
Yeah.
It's pleasant. But now I'm getting the same feeling of Nunes where it's it's going to be cool when she gets knocked out.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's going to happen, man.
It's a lot more clean, Nunez's wins than Cyborg. Cyborg's like a car accident. They're just gross. You're just seeing sweat and blood everywhere, and you're seeing a lot of the time not a pretty girl, but sometimes a pretty-ish girl just get her face beat in. And
yeah,
I love women's fighting. Before I sound like I don't want to see women get women fight. No, I just don't want to see it's hard to see a woman get hurt like that. The way that Cyborg beats up a girl.
Yeah, it's
it looks like domestic abuse, honestly.
Does,
she just bashes them against the cage.
Cyborg is just so jacked
Yeah.
over every woman she's ever fought. Yeah.
At least when Nunes does it, it's a little bit of a crisp technique. It's a one-hit drop,
It's smooth, yeah. Yeah, Cyborg is she glued 2 bricks to each hand and just threw them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I don't know if this is the best state of women's fighting at the moment with all the contenders just beat up like this. But how do you cultivate them? When the champions are that far ahead of everyone, you've definitely seen a step up in the skill around the boards.
Yeah, 100%. Even the lower end of the 15, top 15, there's good stuff happening.
Yeah.
It's just there's still a ways to go till you get to your Shevchenkos and your Nunez's.
Yeah, and now they're so confident from all the wins that they've racked up that they just go in and they just maul these girls.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
And then the main event.
The main event. And here I am last week saying that this is going to be the best Izzy we've ever seen. Telling everyone, I think he's going to look so fast. He's going to be... Yeah, I saw a comment say he's the Black Flash. It didn't happen.
No, he didn't look all there, but that's not discrediting Jan.
Yeah, well, honestly though, from the walkout even, Israel didn't bring the whole energy. He wasn't dancing.
I don't know if it was the crowd or...
Yeah, he wasn't
Did he fight Costa with a crowd?
He fought Costa without a crowd.
Okay, well, that's bullshit. I don't know.
Yeah, he just didn't bring the same energy this time around. And, maybe it's the shadow of John Jones over that fight. Maybe John Izzy's like not in the moment. He's in his head.
Yeah.
Because he was a lot slower than I thought he'd be. And John looked like John wasn't trying to implement any game plan really up until the late in the fight.
Yeah.
He was just like, oh, I'm going to show everyone this Polish power. And then he's actually hitting and he's actually landing against Israel Adesanya.
Yeah.
He's not putting him away.
Well, Izzy rolls with the punches so well as well.
So
there were a couple that hit fairly clean that he didn't expect. There was like a nice left hook after like an Izzy combo, but yeah, nothing really stuck. Nothing really hurt Izzy.
Izzy had a moment in the second round after Jan kind of got him up against the fence where he really started to turn it on, started to land some like heavy strikes.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, maybe this is the game plan. Maybe he's going to like step it up each round and get more and more aggressive and start throwing more and more power.
Yeah.
But I did see Jan check a kick that looked like it really hurt.
I was just about to it just occurred to me then that maybe that's why he sort of wasn't looking as fast, because that was first or second round.
It was early in the fight. Yeah.
It was like a full power kick, and Jan's checks were on point too. Like he knew that was going to be Izzy's game plan.
That was a really good testament to how important checks are.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It made night and day between like how Costa performed.
Yeah.
Costa was just terrible at checking kicks, and Izzy was using his terrible checks to land more leg kicks.
Yeah.
How's that? Yeah, there's irony in that. Yeah, Jan, he just came out there. He just wanted to do what he does. He just wanted to land those hard shots. He wanted to make sure he didn't take too many leg kicks. He took a couple. If you look at his legs, look a little red. But
yeah, he was doing well though, man.
Yeah, he didn't slow down on his feet, and
yeah,
he had some strength in the grappling exchanges that were really like making differences.
Definitely. I honestly thought Jan would do better in the grappling against Izzy.
Yeah.
I knew Izzy wasn't as trash as people thought on the ground, but yeah, I mean, I assumed he would go straight into mount because it's not like Jan is a good grappler. He's got a lot of sub wins too.
Yeah.
So I thought he'd quickly find mount and ground and pound Izzy to death, but Izzy did okay.
He hung out in half guard. Izzy did a good job of avoiding too much strikes.
Yeah.
He did a good job of controlling Jan's posture when he was on the ground.
Yep.
But Izzy gave a spot where Jan could have really hit a Von Fleur or like worked his way over to an arm triangle.
Yeah.
And I'm very surprised to see the Polish gentleman miss out on.
Yeah, it was like Izzy threw his arm over Jan's head, and it was right there. He was on his side. All he had to do was like drive forward, but
all he had to do was clamp that grip, and then once you got the grip, you can start working your way towards the position for the sub.
And there's no way Izzy's fighting out of that. Jan's just too strong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And these guys in this part of the world, they love these chokes. They love to strangle you.
Yeah.
But oh man, I tell you what, that really though. It was bold, and like as Israel was sort of saying, you got to chase greatness.
Yeah.
But that loss is gonna hurt his career like really badly. Like
yeah, man.
It was ballsy move, and if he came up and had pulled it off, we would definitely be singing a different tune.
Oh, for sure. But I mean, just like I was saying with John, he wiped out the whole division like 2 times over, and then moved up. That's the right time to do that. Maybe a little early on Izzy's behalf. It's hard because he's beaten like the top 3 guys quite definitively.
Yeah.
But what can you do?
He's had some fights where he's come out looking like the best fighter in the world, the best fighter that's ever lived.
Yep.
But now he sort of looks beatable, doesn't he?
Yep.
You almost want to see this like 2015 middleweight division come back. You want to see these Chris Weidmans, these Luke Rockholds.
Yeah, man. Their style is not a good matchup.
Yeah. If you don't get completely dusted on the feet and you make it to the point where it's a bit of an exchanging fight, but you're doing enough to hang in on the feet, but you're making enough so you can start to get your takedowns in.
Yep.
Guys like Chris Weidman will beat the fuck out of guys like that on the ground.
Yeah, 100%.
Guys like Luke Rockhold, oh man. you know, despite his losses, Luke Rockhold's like kickboxing skill against Israel Adesanya in a UFC like fight would have been so good to have seen.
Yeah, 100%.
But his shin and that skin that just rips open every fight he gets, I don't know if he can actually do it anymore. Honestly, it bleeds so insanely every fight he does.
He moved up to light heavyweight, is that right?
Yeah, and Jan took years off his life.
That's right. Was that the one out of the clinch where he landed the left? Oh.
And Luke was just coming in there with straight disrespect, just disdain for Jan. Thinking that he had no skills. Thinking he had nothing for him because Jan's coming off that loss to Thiago Santos.
Yeah.
And then, just springboards Jan into fame, really.
Luke loses a lot of fights where he's disrespectful beforehand.
Yeah, he just thinks he's better than everyone. And I think he's one of those people that gets to really beat people up in the gym and get that in your head that you're just so good.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some of his sparring in the gym. Yeah, he goes hard.
Yeah.
He throws body kicks as hard as you can throw them at people.
Just
an absolute gym dick.
Yeah.
But, being an absolute killer in the gym, there is a point of diminishing returns.
Yeah, you were saying this last time about, I don't even remember who it was, but yeah.
I think it was Michael
Johnson. It was Michael Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not getting enough sparring time because no
don't
one wants to help him out. No one wants to spar them.
Yeah. And if you have everyone in your gym's number and you know how to beat them and you just go in there and you do that every time, you don't get put into new challenges.
Yeah, 100%.
And you don't see the very wide range of challenges that there are available for you in MMA to fight against.
Yeah. That's something I struggle with a lot.
Yeah.
Finding like an easy pathway to beat someone in the gym.
And just
then
taking it every time?
Yeah, like most of the time, or at least until like I got hit with something, and then I'd be like, all right, we're going down.
Yeah, you see, I always kind of thought that, I've seen you spar a lot of the time, and I always kind of thought it was almost like it was a lot of chaos. I actually, I found that quite surprising that you said that, because, if there's an easy path, I couldn't imagine you just like magneting to it, but you probably got your ways around some people that you just know.
A couple of specific people. Yeah. Let's say taller strikers.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you need to know your way against. There's some people that are just going to bring a specific challenge every single time, and then I guess you're kind of stuck in this sort of thing like that. You know, this kind of brings a bit of an argument too as to like you shouldn't really just train in one place forever.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Especially if you've got everyone's number in your gym. It's time to move on, you know? There's levels to gyms. And it's not a bad thing that your gym isn't a UFC level gym.
No.
People need to start somewhere.
You need to get to an intermediate level, and I don't think getting smashed by a bunch of great guys is the best way to do that.
Yeah, never getting a chance to build confidence.
Yeah.
You know, you need to go to these places where people only have as much experience as you have or a couple more amateur fights. That's a good spot to get into the amateur fight game.
Yeah, certainly.
You know, what it takes to be a good amateur fighter and what it takes to be a good UFC fighter are two different things. But, people just want to basically start in the game trying to be a good UFC fighter, where there's
a couple steps before that.
You need to wait for your time. You need to do it the right way, you know. You need to take advantage of your amateur career, get as many fights in as you can.
Yeah. And
really kind of get that experience in there before you start trying to really just step up in these high levels to the point where you can beat these world beater sort of people.
Yeah, certainly.
And, I don't really know how we kind of got here talking about Luke Rockhold, because he did get to that point of like beating these world beater sort of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
He got to UFC champion in, at the time, what was the most high level title fight you'd ever seen, Chris Weidman versus Luke Rockhold. Saying it now sounds stupid.
Yeah, but I mean, Chris looked great before the Luke Rockhold fight. He was beating everyone, man.
Yeah, Chris Weidman, the wrestler who knocked out Anderson Silva on the feet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that just speaks to how high level they were. And you're seeing him come in with enough striking to knock out Anderson Silva versus someone like Luke Rockhold, who's, got these question mark kicks, every sort of kickboxing skill that you could really want.
His ground and pound is super underrated as well, man. Oh, yeah. Luke is fierce on the ground.
Amazing wrestler, and his subs are insane.
Yeah.
The choke that he got on Michael Bisping, I spoke of last week. It's beautiful.
Yeah, man. So nice.
One hand, just using your other hand to post, put that extra pressure on. You don't even need the extra grip.
There's just shows the amount of confidence he has there, you know?
Yeah, and that fight was probably the very highlight of his whole career. You know, he's fighting Bisping with one eye and he's taking absolute advantage of it in every way. And he's looking so good. And then Bisping's getting frustrated and completely not in the moment. He's just in his own head because he's like getting headbutted and he can't see even worse.
Yeah. And
then he gets question mark kicked and rocked. And man, seeing a lot of things that you never saw from Bisping really at that point. But yeah, Luke Rockhold, fix that shin. Come back, man. Because now
I want to see more of Rockhold, man. Yeah. Maybe back down to middleweight.
I don't know who the immediate fight is for Israel at the moment in middleweight. Probably Robert Whittaker now.
Well, I think they booked Whittaker Costa.
They did book Whittaker Costa.
Yeah. So
if Whittaker wins that, you can't.
Maybe it's some time off for it. No, you can't, man. I mean, it's just Izzy, Costa, Whittaker, and who else is up there? Check real quick.
I think
there's got to be someone else, right?
Probably.
All right.
You got to think about it though.
It's Canadair, then Till. See, there's immediately like a drop off there.
People do want to see that Till Adesanya fight, and I can understand why. Yeah, it's a cool fight.
I mean, maybe now's the time. Like he's up there. Is Till coming off a win?
I don't believe so.
Well, yeah. Maybe
I feel like his last fight was the fight against Robert Whittaker.
Yeah.
Which was not a terrible fight for Till, just not one that he won.
Yeah. Whittaker fought well that night, actually.
And I think if you're Whittaker too, you got to know that you've got better wrestling than Izzy.
Yeah. Well, after seeing that fight, I think his game plan is going to be pretty different coming into it.
Yeah, you know, like the fact is now Izzy's lost the aura, and the aura is everything. The aura, I think, really kind of crushed Rob in the first fight.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he made so many awesome fighters look easy.
Yeah, he did. And, you know, now we've seen him look pretty normal, pretty beatable.
Yeah.
You've seen him lose a striking fight against a grappler right now, is what we've seen.
Yeah, pretty much.
And there's going to be some people who are going to be so mad that we're not talking about how close the fight was.
It was close, but there was...
I wasn't surprised that Jan won. I was surprised at the scorecards, probably.
Yeah, there was one really questionable one, 59...
Yeah.
No, sorry, 49, 40... Fuck, I don't even know what it was, but it was...
I think they gave one round to Izzy. And look, the first 3 rounds, you could really argue either way.
Yeah.
I felt that Jan's actual first round was the better out of the 3 for him.
Yeah.
Maybe round 3 was a bit better.
Round 2 was... I think he landed more round 2. Off the top of my head, but yeah.
Yeah, if you look at every exchange, Jan was probably actually landing the better shots, but Izzy had more memorable moments in round 2. So
yes. Yep.
Interesting that, interesting to see what the actual scorecards were.
Yeah.
But I think it's fair. I think Jan won. I think there's going to be some people, especially, because Izzy's got such a large fan base.
Yeah.
That are going to be like, that's a bullshit decision. But, oh man, he's lost his undefeated, he's lost his O.
O's gone.
We've sort of...
It's now a somewhat clear game plan to be able to beat him.
Everyone's going to be at least thinking that, we're going to have our short memories on. We're going to forget about the guy who completely demolished Robert Whittaker. We're just going to think, this guy lost a striking fight to a grappler.
Yeah.
But let's not let's
discredit Jan's striking.
Yeah, and also credit to Izzy. Jan's a lot bigger.
Big boy, yeah.
Big, stronger.
Izzy looked a lot bigger in there.
Yeah, they're normal for sure.
But I mean, that should have really played into Izzy's game plan.
I was expecting to see so much more speed from him.
Yeah, 100%. And he didn't seem to be getting out of range as quick as you would normally see him get out of range.
He was just actually hanging out in range.
There were a couple moments where I thought, Jan could just throw a hook now and it's done.
Yeah.
Like he's right there. Yeah, hands down.
A combo I actually saw for Jan that was there a lot was because the way that Izzy his head movement off the jab.
Yeah.
I think if Jan would fake the jab and throw the hook off that, I feel like there was a lot of landing there that he could have taken. One could have clipped on the side of the ear the way he was turning the head.
Yeah.
Just really inebriate him and just take that TKO right there. It's
there, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might have been a bit early booking Whittaker Costa because now it kind of just seems like, they should probably just give Whittaker the fight.
Well, I don't think Izzy's hurt either.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in pretty well fine.
Yeah.
He does a really good job of avoiding long-lasting damage in a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Took way more shots than he should have like taken this fight though, you know? He should have had. It's easy to say he could have after the fact.
Yeah, 100%. Jan landed a lot more jabs than I thought he would.
Yeah, it was.
I was surprised that Izzy was there for them.
Yeah. It was almost like Jan's hands were better, but Izzy, when he could make it, kickboxing exchanges would come out like a lot cleaner.
Yeah.
And Izzy just was spending a lot of time in these hands exchanges where the risk is just so much higher. And yeah, wasn't the best payoff for him.
No, well, back to the drawing board, I suppose.
Yeah.
He's still a champ.
He's still a champ.
Really? So it was a loss to like his reputation, but he's still going to do big things, man, I reckon.
But that John Jones fight is definitely not happening.
That cannot happen. No, it would be a crime.
Yeah. Yeah, you think like if John Jones can take him down like the way that Jan could, he's going to be bleeding.
Yeah.
There's so much blood.
John Jones ground and pound is just a different thing altogether.
I'd say it's the best in the world, but I actually think Curtis Blades has the best ground and pound in the world.
I could argue that for sure.
That's actually the heavyweight John Jones fight I want to see the most. Curtis Blades, even if he is coming off a loss.
It's most interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I think
could Curtis take John down is the question.
Being that big, you know, like I think stylistically that's the hardest fight for John Jones. I think, you know, if he's fighting Stipe, he's just going to be a little bit better than Stipe, a little bit longer.
Yeah.
He's going to push the action a bit more.
Yeah.
He's going to take Stipe down to spots where Stipe hasn't been before.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to beat him. If it's Francis, fuck. I think Francis, like, yeah, he wings one of those spastic punches and knocks him out maybe, actually.
Could happen, man. Like, what does John do if Francis comes at him like he did Rosenstruck?
What does anyone do?
I don't know if there's an answer, man.
Yeah, like do you circle out towards one of those
like,
giant hands?
You could see it and like bob and circle out and then do that like 4 more times. And if you don't get hit, maybe he's tired. But like, it's a risky game, man. Like risky for both guys because if Francis tires out, like we know what happens then.
Yeah. Once he's tired out, he does not come back.
No.
When you got muscles like that, you just can't get the oxygen back into the blood.
Too big, too much power.
Yeah. You've got like a good 1 round and then you're basically done.
Half a round if he's really trying, man.
Yeah, actually. A good minute.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly.
I feel like we saw Junior Dos Santos like try and avoid what happened to Rosenstruck by like coming in a little on the hips, like, you know, being out of the way of the striking range, but he just kind of like threw him off, like, just get off me, mate.
Yeah.
And then Junior turns around and he's just getting clocked and, you know.
Scary, man.
I'm actually happy Junior got cut. I love the guy, but I just don't want to see him get bashed by
He's just been around so long.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have it like he used to.
His come up in the heavyweight division was one of the best things to watch ever. You know?
Oh, he was killing people, man.
He fights Verdum on short notice, and Verdum is already like pretty established in the UFC at that point.
Yeah.
And just eats the biggest uppercut you've ever seen, gets knocked the fuck out. You know, he had so many good fights on his way. The Gonzaga fight, you know.
Yeah.
Man. But, you know, ode to Junior. We'll keep watching you if you fight places where you can win.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'm glad to see the pain can stop now.
Yeah, that's nice. Same with Overeem. I'm glad he's, exactly the same story, really.
Yeah, you know, like every time Overeem lost, we're thinking that should have been the last one.
It's been that way for a couple losses now.
But he just kept coming back and looking so good.
The risk is just too high, man. He's just been hit so much throughout the, 4 different decades he's fought in?
He was a teenager getting knocked out by Chuck Liddell and Shogun when they were in their prime.
That skinny Overeem, I remember.
Oh, man. The Overeem, he's just like some, like, you know, Dutch kid that likes to go out clubbing and, like, loves to kickbox.
Yeah. Fighting
the best fighters in the world in the organization that allows the best steroids in the world. Man's
a savage.
Yeah, you know, he's had every height that you can almost have in this game besides the UFC gold. And he got very close to getting it more than once.
Yeah, man.
But, good career. Good career for Junior as well.
Yeah, both guys, fantastic careers. Great to watch.
We'll definitely miss him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. Maybe just one more fight that we didn't mention last time we were in here.
Yeah.
That got announced. Rose and Whaley 2. No, Rose and Whaley. They haven't fought before, sorry.
Oh, I love that fight.
It's a cool fight, man.
Oh, man.
Cool fight.
Zhang Wei Li, I didn't realize how much of a fan I'd be.
Not till she did that to Joanna.
Yeah, actually, like when she knocked out Andrade, like,
Oh, yeah.
made her look
That was
easy.
big.
Yeah, she looked better than like any women's striker in that division. Like that's saying something because JJ was showing what women's striking should be all about. But then
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
seeing,
Just
like,
fierce, but
yeah. Now you're seeing power and technique with Zhang Wei Li. And then we get Rose Namajunas just into the picture, just making the whole thing so interesting.
yeah, man.
Oh, I wish I could say this about the other women's divisions, but this one is actually so interesting.
Yeah. Real exciting.
I could see that love triangle for years of just Joanna, Rose, and Zhang. Like,
Yeah.
oh, man.
I was so devastated when Rose got dropped by Andrade.
Yeah.
That was heartbreaking, man.
It was just sad to watch.
She looked so great that first round. Like,
Yeah.
she was on fire, great distancing, landing a lot.
She looked really good
then
in that
just-
rematch against Andrade at least.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
But Andrade is like, she's kind of come from behind and kind of shown like everyone that, gatekeepers can move up to like contenders. To
Yeah, man.
champions. Yeah.
Yeah. It's totally possible.
You see these people. This is the thing that pisses me off about fans when you see someone lose once and they're like, oh, they're not unbeatable. They'll never be champion.
Washed up.
Yeah.
Done. Just cut them.
You don't know, guys. These guys
ridiculous,
are
man.
still getting better. A lot of the time, they're young in their careers,
Yeah.
And someone like even Rose, Rose came out looking really good in the Ultimate Fighter, but then had that really bad fight with Carla Esparza.
Yeah, that's right.
A lot of people would have wrote her off at that point.
Yeah.
Never would have thought that she'd be the one to knock out the strawweight queen, Joanna Jacek.
That was crazy, man.
Just
We were talking about like the best cards of all time, but
Yeah.
that was probably it, man.
yeah,
With the GSP fight and who else was it? TJ and Cody.
yeah.
Fuck, man.
You'll never get a better card than that. Like you'll never get better than 3 titles changing hands in one night.
Yeah.
And you're certainly not going to beat it with 1 title changing hands in a night over a DQ.
No. This weekend's card had a lot of potential.
It's an integral card because it really does like change up like a lot of divisions in a big way.
Yeah. It makes for interesting moves.
Yeah, but
It just wasn't that fun to watch.
Yeah, there were some spots that you just really wanted a bit more out of some fights and you wanted a bit more out of some people.
Yeah.
You saw a few people kind of not really show up, and then you saw people show up and despite of that still lose.
Yeah.
It was a good card overall.
Yeah.
Like it's not one where you're like, shit, I wish I didn't pay pay-per-view on it.
Yeah. Like I'm glad I watched it.
The prelims are actually they really good on this like card. We had like
Shame
a lot
I
of
missed
finishes.
some of them, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Song Yudong fight was pretty good.
We were on a good betting streak too before that Song Yudong streak.
Yeah, I came in. You guys were all like stoked on the cash you made.
Yeah.
And then it just crumbled.
One thing about me, I never really bet, but I love to make my friends just go hard with their own money because it's not my own money and it's great to watch.
Throw 500 on me again.
Yeah, I was telling a mate to throw 500 or 1,000 on Megan all day. I really wish he did still. It would have been so good if he did. But,
Yeah.
I want to see him get one of those like wins off like Uncut Gems. And if you haven't seen that movie, that's just like one of the best gambling movies you'll ever see. And the high point of Adam Sandler's career. But yeah.
I've seen clips, man. I got to watch it.
Oh my God. It is so
That
good. It's
good?
so stressful.
Damn, okay.
You're just watching the most, what's the word? Irresponsible betting, irresponsible gambling you'll ever see in your entire life. And the right consequences for the right moves.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this isn't a movie review show, but if you want a recommendation, check out Uncut Gems on Netflix.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
I think that just about covers everything.
I think that about covers everything. We'll catch up in a couple weeks or so.
Yeah, we're going to start doing every pay-per-view instead of every month.
Yeah.
And then going off that, if we can make those times.
Yeah. We'll try and be, be in a bit more often, guys, so you can kind of catch up on the fight news when it's nice and fresh for you.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, we really need to. We're starting to just hit our stride. You know.
Yeah.
Once we're fully in, we'll commit to a hard schedule for you guys.
100%.
And you know, you'll be able to come in here. You'll be able to enjoy the fights with the two best in the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the undefeated kings, the undisputed kings, right here.
That's it.
But until next time, guys, this has been the MMA review. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks, East friends. Like, follow, share, all that good stuff.
Yeah, Big Merv MMA on Instagram.
Mitch Picks MMA on Instagram.
And the MMA review on Instagram and YouTube.
Hey.